All right, now for the riff. I want to go back in time. As governor of California, Ronald Reagan knew how to stop campus radicals from shutting down UC Berkeley and the other state colleges and universities. You know, back in 1966, at the Cow Palace near San Francisco, Reagan said the following. Take a listen, please.
Will we allow a great university to be brought to its knees by a noisy dissident minority? Will we meet their neurotic vulgarities with vacillation and weakness? Or will we tell those entrusted with administering the university we expect them to enforce a code based on decency, common sense, and dedication to the high and noble purpose of that university?
There you go. And later that year, the Gipper also said, and I'll quote, "What in heaven's name does academic freedom have to do with rioting, with anarchy, with attempts to destroy the primary purpose of the university, which is to educate our young people?" End quote. Now, big hat tip to Newt Gingrich for reminding us about all this, and Newt will be on a little while later to talk about how Reagan handled it. Last week at Columbia, Speaker Mike Johnson went there and called for the resignation of President Shafiq unless she could restore campus order. Well, after today's missed 2 p.m. deadline, which is about the fourth missed deadline, I think, it looks like President Shafiq should, in fact, resign because she hasn't restored order, and nothing has changed. This is exactly the kind of pandering that Reagan hated, and he said later on as governor, listen to this, I will quote, "I am sick and tired of the argument about whether some effort to enforce law and order is going to escalate anything at all. The plain truth of the matter is this has to stop, and it has to stop like the day before yesterday, and it is going to be stopped. Whatever it takes, period," end quote. Now, there's another key angle to Columbia and all the anti-Semitic campus disruptions across the country. That is Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. I quote, "No person in the United States shall, on the ground of race, color, or national origin, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any program or activity receiving federal financial assistance," end quote. The hate crimes of anti-Semitism would certainly qualify under Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. That bill, pushed hard by President Lyndon Johnson, was passed with significant Republican Senate votes, mainly because the Dixiecrat senators from the South would not sign on to something forcing equality for black people. That was the main push in those days. In a sense, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was necessary because the great emancipation amendments to the Constitution, 13, 14, and 15, that were pushed by President Abraham Lincoln while he was alive and then later, were never truly enforced during the next 100 years. I reckon the 64 Civil Rights Act was the best thing LBJ ever did in his rather tortured time as president. Now, there is yet a third angle to this wave of anti-Semitism that is endangering the lives of Jewish students who are suffering from hate speech and hate crimes. Cut off federal funding. The bipartisan Open the Books website has the numbers to show that the increase in federal money being given to colleges is actually greater than even the increase in tuition payments charged by those colleges. In Columbia University's case, between 2018 and 2022, the university received $5.8 billion in contracts and grants. This, while Columbia's endowment during that period increased from $10.5 billion to $13.3 billion. So, when Donald Trump last week argued that the spread of anti-Semitism is not only violating civil rights discrimination laws, but also should lead to tax increases and heavy fines for those colleges like Columbia and so many others that continue to appease the virulent virus of anti-Semitism and hate crimes, Mr. Trump was right on target. Meanwhile, Joe Biden hasn't lifted a finger to enforce civil rights laws or threaten financial punishment with these recalcitrant colleges? Why isn't Biden ordering his Justice Department to send the FBI to these campuses to investigate federal crimes under that Civil Rights Act of 1964? Why isn't Biden threatening these college presidents and demanding that they restore campus law and order exactly the way Ronald Reagan did under similar circumstances so many years ago? Those are questions for the ages, but they are also important questions for this election. And that's the riff.